My name is Dominique Johnson, the founder, executive director of Daughters Beyond Incarceration.
Mac Terrence Sr., ED of Cultivating You.
So, Daughters Beyond Incarceration was formed out of a relationship between my incarcerated father, who is on his 40th year of a life sentence. My dad was arrested. We grew up in the St. Bernard Project, so he left to pick up my mom a pig lip and a bag of Lay's chips, and she never saw me again. He has been incarcerated in Angola because he looked like another black man that raped a white woman. We stopped talking in 2000, right after I won 400 meter dash, the state track meet for Warren Easton, and I really just got tired of him telling me I'm coming home soon. I'm coming home soon, and me not knowing how to understand the mind of someone that's incarcerated works. Then I gave up. I said, if you're not gonna tell me when you coming home, then I don't want to talk to you. So the next time we talked was in the year 2007 when I told him, I said, you have a son, his name is Kingston. Yep. And the whole theory behind Daughters Beyond Incarceration was to bridge the communication gap between incarcerated fathers and mothers and their children. And the way we did that was making sure that they are connected to formerly incarcerated people and they're in that community and they work to understand the mind of how somebody that's formerly incarcerated works. You know, in New Orleans, when you get out of jail, the stereotype is that you either gonna go back and sell drugs or you gonna work at a fast food restaurant. And nothing against fast food restaurants, but people that have been incarcerated and coming home, they are doing so much more than that. And I mean, we go to conferences so many years and we see women who have multi-million-dollar businesses, men, and it's so much more that you can do with that incarceration behind you. But I just want to make sure that I keep these girls connected, and you know, we don't lose hope. And that's kind of how Daughters Beyond Incarceration started.
That's deep. That is super deep, and it's something that so many of us deal with in our communities because it's just it's always legal issues and it's always broken homes as a result of it. And like when they come home, and it's
Man, the way you think about it, every black person in New Orleans is impacted by incarceration. You may not be your direct parents, but either their parents or their grandparents, or you have an uncle or a cousin, but somebody in your direct line
for sure
has been incarcerated
for sure
or systemically affected by the criminal justice system. And I think that's the struggle, just not getting black people in New Orleans to understand it.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Cultivating You, and then we're going to talk about where the brands come together. So give me a little history of Cultivating You, where y'all been, what y'all working on.
Well, you know, cultivate is to grow something. So over the last 4 or 5 years, we just been doing things independently, operating under Cultivating You, but we never was a 501c3 up until this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So coming up, my godfather and my godmother had the Velocity Foundation. And I know it had an impact on my life and other kids that was in our communities like the Cali or the Melfamine and other projects. But after you finish the program, they didn't have nothing after that. So once you graduated middle school, then high school, you pretty much were left to yourself. So now you don't have anybody to mentor you or guide you or check on you to make sure that you're still on that path. So that's our goal, is to connect with the kids that's parents may have been killed by gun violence or may be incarcerated, and also bridge the gap between those other kids who are already on the right path but may be rocking towards the kids that's getting all the attention because they're doing trouble things.
These are two powerful brands and powerful messages, and it's a shame of what's mostly promoted in New Orleans, just like the partying and the drinking and stuff. And there's so much community activity going on in New Orleans. So to that point, what are some things that y'all done in the past through y'all brands that have impacted some of the people in New Orleans? We can start with Cultivating.
Well, every year we do our shoe drive, where we reach out to people in the community, asking if they have any shoes that's still in good uses. Can they donate them to kids who don't have anything? We know a lot of our kids get bullied because they don't have nice shoes. A lot of our kids get teased because of the same thing. We do a toy giveaway every year around Christmas time, and we also help like 100 or so people in the neighborhood, in the surrounding community, you give everybody $100 towards their light bill. So we've been doing that for the last 3 years.
Man, that's deep. That's what's up. That's what's up. So we got to bring you back around with Christmas too.
He missed the fact that he really is transforming like the confidence in the children. Like because I work out at the gym, and it is so many children that's running around in that gym that's just learning how to just build confidence just by working out. And even if it's not their goal to be an athlete, what I like about Cultivating Youth is that they really take those children who are experiencing trauma in the community, and they teach them how to restore or re-heal themselves through physical fitness. That's what I like about it. And you know, one of the signs of trauma is childhood obesity. Kids get bullied when they big or they something like, you know, they just, and you're not thinking about it. Like, I've been an athlete my entire life. So all my children are athletic. So they're not gonna have that problem, but you still need that confidence that you get from working out. And that's what I like about Cultivating Youth, because they work to instill confidence in children through physical fitness, that's targeting trauma right there.
Yeah, that's deep. So, Daughters Band Incarceration, what have y'all done recently? I know y'all be working.
Man, much love to my co-founder Bree. Keep her here in my heart. But we have been working on the policy side. We've been working on the social justice side, on the social emotional learning side. I sat in this meeting with one of the city's biggest, I would say, educational leaders, and she literally told me that DBI wasn't education centered, so she wouldn't consider us for education grant. Now, mind you, I'm really good at grants, so that neither here nor there. But at the same time, mentoring is educational. Sure. We teach the girls in our program how to advocate for themselves. We teach them how to build a relationship with their incarcerated father, so when that person re-enters back into society, that they have that relationship already built and their foundation is set. So we do that by passing laws. In 2019, we passed a law that created the Louisiana Council for Children of Incarcerated Parents, which puts children at the table of making decisions. And you have to understand that when you don't put children in control of their life, at some point in time, they're not gonna know how to make decisions. And a lot of people don't understand that when you have these teen summits or these youth summits and no teenagers are on the stage speaking, then that's not youth-centered, that's not youth-led. So one of the things that I liked when I worked in the gym and I saw those children is that those children communicate with Mac. Those children are not afraid to say, Mac, I want to do this, I want to do that, and he helps them to build off of that. And I like youth-led programs, because that's what we are. We have an advisory group with girls at ages from 8 to 21. And so they make decisions.
That's deep.
Like, and I don't, look, what y'all want to do, I pay the bill.
Yeah, that's deep.
But that's kind of what I think the community needs, is to teach the children how to recognize good decisions, good choices. And the way you do that is to bring them to the table and include them in the decision-making process.
Nice. So is this your first time bringing the brands together? Talk a little bit about that partnership. How did that cultivate, and what is it turning into?
Well, it's time for us to govern our own city and our own community. Like we not waiting on help from the mayor, the governor, the president. We're gonna do it ourselves.
No. And I mean, he just was like, I need you to help me. And I thought we were just helping with one thing, and we ended up helping with a big thing. But if I believe in your mission and I believe in your brand, and I'm gonna help you. When we got started, it was so many people helping me, and I cannot thank any of those people enough. So the one thing that I could do is just pay it forward and help somebody else. Yeah,
and it's all about the youth too, because they're lost, but you can tell that they want to be found. It's not like they're just.
I won't say lost. They're just like navigating their way through trauma. Like, childhood trauma is serious. So some of our kids are seeing things and witnessing things that is not normal.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I suffered from childhood trauma until I started raising my own kids. Like, they ain't experienced anything I went through. They didn't have to witness shootouts or drug transactions or things of that nature.
Stepping over urine and feces, just
things that you hold on to as a child is not normal. I just told one of my friends, he's from out the Cali, and he called me up. We went to high school together, played on the football team. He was having a problem with his son. I'm like, your son normal, you the problem, because you grew up in the Cali. And your son is in a different environment, so he's reacting accordingly. To you, he's weak. He's not. He's a child. So, like, your trauma have you thinking himself,
week, yeah.
but you harden yourself because of the situation you was in.
Right.
It's real. And a lot of us that grew up in the projects, we really just need to heal the childhood part of our life.
Yeah.
Because we were so, like you say, I wouldn't say lost. We just was let down by some adults that we trusted.
Yeah.
And so,
St. Bernard, right?
St. Bernard
And it's funny
Project.
because I did the documentary on the 7 and I did the documentary on the 9. So
Right.
it's like, it's crazy
Yeah.
diving deep because my question was going to be, what's it like actually growing up? You know, and then you started going into details and I remember, I'm like, it's crazy.
Right.
So, you remember how the St. Bernard Project works. You got the first floor, the second floor, and you got the
actual
front.
project,
Yeah. So I stayed on the third floor on the left side on Gibson Street. And there were times that I would have to go inside, but like my stepdad would have to stand in the hallway to make sure nobody was in there because there was no lights. But I would have to step over urine and feces just to get to my house. And there was one time that I went in there. I'm standing in the middle of drug transactions. I'm standing in the middle of people shooting dope. And it was crazy because I guess I felt numb to it. I never felt afraid. And I don't know if it's because who my people was, but every time some shit was going down, them people would tell me, Dominique, y'all go inside. And I don't know, you could call it sheltered in the hood or what,
Right.
but them people made sure that I was inside, and that was my village. I never felt afraid growing up in the projects. I always had what I needed. My mom always knew where I was. Shit, I had people to play with.
Yeah. So, what are some things that y'all think the kids need before we get into the actual event that y'all doing? Because I do want to get into that, get into the meat of that. But what are some things that y'all feel like the kids in the community need? Just outside of, a good parenting. Because we know that the parents been, just doing their own little thing.
Right. Mainly, our kids need resources. They have great ideas. They're very smart, but they are limited to resources. They're limited to support outside of the household. So we're going to start providing that for our kids.
And it is crazy too, because even thinking about it, like when I was a kid, I was 3'5", so you saw how limited the resources was. But as you get older, you start actually getting money, and like you really forget how you really ain't have nothing. Right. Like you gotta have computers and stuff, you had old books. We was 3'5", it was like a prison, y'all.
Yeah.
Like over there, we used to be, like it's crazy. We didn't even have grass growing in there.
We didn't have grass in the projects. We had dirt. You had dirt and broken bottles and stuff. And I mean, when you think about, like Meg said, the children needing resources, those children need somebody outside of their home to talk to. And you need to be able to put those children in an environment with somebody that relates to their background, that can relate to the environment that either the caregiver grew up in or where the child is growing up in now. And like Meg said, it's not the children who is confused, it's the parents. My 8-year-old daughter is the complete opposite of who I am. She's a high social emotional learner and tells me all the time, Mommy, you don't have to scream at me when you're talking to me. But that's what I was, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and so I don't have to talk to my children like that because they said you can tell me one time and I get it.
Right, that's great. So yeah, let's get into the meat of the actual event though. So y'all got an event that y'all cooking up. Want everybody to know. Let's get into detail about it. When, the where, the why. What y'all got for me?
It was Mia's idea. I don't know why she didn't want to come in here, but it was Mia's idea. Mia said, Dominique, well, from the work that I've done, and what I've learned developing a nonprofit is you have to do the work. And sometimes that means doing the work without money. So what we didn't have with DBI, we didn't have somebody to partner with us who already had the money. So my strategy is to partner with Cultivating Youth to do the work, to show the work being done, and then to help them to be able to sustain their program for at least 5 years and to grow it stronger and stronger.
That's crazy.
But you're not going to get the support that you need from, unfortunately, from your city leaders and your state leaders. So when Mia said that, hey, we need to do a program to raise awareness about the work that Cultivating Youth was doing, she said, well, let's do a sneaker ball. I'll help you.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did.
This is like real deal community in practice. Like from you can really see like you coming together. You got somebody got peanut butter, you got jelly that's actually coming together and actually make a sandwich to feed some people, right? So let's talk a little bit about the sneaker ball. And what made y'all get into that? Why sneaker ball? Y'all, this is like what, y'all second year doing it?
This is our first year.
First year doing it.
This is our first year doing it.
Okay. So y'all usually do the drive.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, boom. Yeah. So let's talk about the sneaker ball. What's that about?
I mean, the sneaker ball stemmed from the shoe drive, but what do we have for our kids that can bring excitement and memories? We have all type of stuff for the adults. New Orleans cater to adults, but still we have a problem with our youth. So now let's start doing things for our youth and give them opportunity to enjoy their youth life, so they can have stories and memories as children to enjoy. Wanting to wake up the next day, wanting to do something positive. So right now there's no want there, so you're just going through the motions of being a teenager.
Yeah. I remember as a teen when I went to this teen club in New Orleans, and it was just so fun. You know, like it gave you them vibes. It wasn't
Like
nothing.
Teen Summit.
Yeah.
Like Teen
We
Summit.
used to have a lot of stuff back in the day.
And I feel sorry for
parties
them
in the
children
East
because they
every
don't have
weekend.
it. They don't have it. They can't even go to no dance at St. Mary's, no 3-5 dance. They don't have that. And when we talk about the parties and the dances that we went to growing up, they're like, man, why you don't have that?
Yeah. So where was it going to take place, and what is the time? Like, okay.
It's a surprise, but we are planning something real nice for our youth. Red carpet. Like, we want to let them out. We want to show them that they have value, they loved, and we're behind them 100%.
And so the way we kind of worked along with it was the girls who are in our advisory group for DBI, when Mia said, well, ask them this, I'll ask them that and get their ideas on it. And you want them to take something away. So when you do an event for youth, you have to have a takeaway.
Right.
So the takeaway is that we're going to have other youth-led nonprofits at the table so they can sign up. The goal is to get everybody that comes to sign up with a mentoring program. And if we can do that, then we can work to support those mentoring programs to show the city leaders that, listen, you have children that want help.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do to help them?
That's powerful. So really doubling as a call to action mentor affair kind of situation where we just get everybody signed up in one, just bring everybody in.
Yeah, and it's not no competition. It's not no competition.
Yeah.
We asking all of you, everybody that has a mentoring program, or everybody that's doing something with you, reach out to us, set up a table at the event, and just be prepared to take children into your program.
We're calling on all our local businesses, everybody who's surviving off our youth dollars. It's time for us to step up. Like we always say, the youth this, the parents not this. Well, guess let us be the change.
Yep.
Straight up.
You have to start with us. We're going to be the change, and we're going to plant the seed, and we need to see the New Orleans just to water it.
Right. So if I want to bring donations, like where do I bring it to? Who I contact? How you accepting donations or like clothes, money, and all that good stuff?
So we're working with Ty Tima, who is the executive director of the Beautiful Foundation. She's going to host what does she call it? A dress and sneakers shopping spree on November 6th. And we're going to be posting a flyer to that soon.
Well, that's great. That's great. So any closing remarks that y'all got?
We need to get more children to register. So whenever you see this video, share it, encourage children ages 13 to 18 to register for the event. If you want a flyer dropped off at your school, give us a call or come by 3445
Tyler Donald Street, the big red building.
to pick up a flyer or a poster.
Donations.
And we taking
It's
donations.
tax time.
Yep.
Do not get Irish your money. Donate it to a local nonprofit.
Yep. And donations can be made through Cultivating Youth or DBI. It doesn't matter. We will take gently used heels, tennis shoes, sneakers, whatever. Gently used a brand new.
For all my trappers and my trapettes who have all those sneakers under the bed in the closet, please drop them off. Please.